Hey everybody, it's Lori. I'm here with another journal share video, and this one is for a swap over on Junk Journal Junkies, and the theme is Boho Gypsy, and it may or may not actually be entered in the swap because I'm the one that's hosting the swap, so if I don't end up with a partner, then I'll just stick it up for sale in my store. So if this one is a hardcover, it's fabric wrapped, but it is, let's see, 9 inches in height and 6 inches in width, and then the pages are 8 1/4 in height by about 5 1/4 in width. And I've got quite a bit going on here on the cover. I have a base piece of fabric in a really pretty kind of bohemian style print. And then I sewed some strips of other pieces of fabric in just really pretty wild and bright colors. And then I sewed them on just individually on top of that base piece. And then on the front here, I've got a little bit of beading that I've sewed on to a couple of different places. And then over here, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, and then kind of a shabby floral flower here that I cut out with the Tim Holtz die, and then a blingy Brad in the middle, a Tim Holtz book plate, and then I just typed up Wanderlust Consumed Her, and I put that underneath the book plate, and then a really pretty image here, and a leather strap that I sewed to a piece to the front. It's just a snap, so I sewed a piece to the front and then the other side to the back. And then on the spine here, and it's about a 2 1/4 inch spine, and I kind of wish I had done the spine maybe about 1/4 of an inch, just a little bit bigger, because I did end up putting some dimension inside the book. It's not like overly stuffed, but it would make it lay a little bit nicer if I had just a little bit more wiggle room in the spine. And then here I've just got a bunch of fibers. It is a hollow spine, so I've got a bunch of fibers fed underneath the spine and around the outside and then knotted at the top. And then I've just got some really pretty beads here. I've got this pretty green and purple one here hanging on there. And then this dangle here, if I can get at it. And then this purple one here. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go inside and start flipping. Most of the images in here are from the Ivy Shutter's Gypsy Abandon digital printables. There are a few images that I found on Google that I printed out, and then also a few images that I purchased a while back from an Etsy seller. If I can find the link to her shop, I will put it in the description, but it was a few years ago, so I'll see what I can find. Like there are 8 tags in there that look like this, and they are from the other Etsy seller. And then the rest of them are from the Ivy Shutters kit. Like this envelope here is from the Ivy Shutters kit. And this one does not have a tag in it. But I colored the inside with some Distress ink spray. And there's a pocket on both the inside cover of the front and the back. And then there's a little bit of stamping in there, some sewing on some pages, and lots of tags and tuck spots. Here is, and I also should mention that some of the bulk in here is from things that I've altered and made pockets out of them, and they can all be removed. They're just all paper clipped in there, so if they're too bulky, you can just take them right out. Like this one here is actually a time card that I just altered up. Oop. And you can still write on the back here for some journaling space, and then I just have a little vintage gypsy image That's tucked in the pocket there. And I think what I'm going to do is, as I flip through this, I'm going to leave all of the paper clipped items out because I want to see how much of a difference it makes in the bulk here. Some of the tags I did some sewing on and have some trim snippets on there. A few of the pages I did some stenciling on in some different colors. Here's another one that's paper clipped in here. It's an altered envelope. The envelope actually started off green, and as you can see, it's many different colors now. And then I've got an altered guest check ticket on the inside of it for a journaling space. And then here's the back. There are also some side tucks in here, and I've put some paper flowers and some pieces of the Tim Holtz die cuts that are the florals. Can't remember the official name of that pack, but it's a bunch of really pretty vintage flower pictures. And all of the tags have been backed with stained paper to give them a little bit of sturdiness for journaling space. And there are also a handful of pages in there that were just from my stash of designer papers. Like there's some Prima in there, and quite a bit of K & Company, because they had some really pretty collections that were very boho themed. And some tracing paper. Like this is one of the excuse me, this is one of the pages from K & Company. Some ledger paper that I stained up. There's a really wild and crazy pocket. It's a wide piece of ribbon, and then I've got this really crazy trim on top of it. Oh, and I think there are, let's see, 120 pages, both front and back. There's a little paper sack that I altered. A little tag in there. Here's a snippet off of a vintage linen here with some embroidery on there, and then some lace underneath that. And this is just a shipping tag that I put some really pretty fabric down, or sewed some really pretty fabric down on top of it. And sprayed the back up. is an altered index card, which actually I think it's a Project Life card. Here's a little envelope here that's paper clipped in there that I altered. This is just a little snippet off of a vintage hanky that I sewed to the top there. And this is a little bookmark that I made. It's supposed to look like a little boho cottage. And this I made based on a tutorial that I just happened to stumble across the other night. This gal's channel, her name is Rita Marie, and she has really, really cute stuff on there. She does tutorials for all kinds of different things. And this one doesn't follow her tutorial exactly. She made hers into tags. Like hanging tags for gifts and such, and then I made mine a little bit thinner so I could use it as a bookmark, because if I had done it the way she did it, it would have been like way too thick for this book. But I'll put the link for her channel in the description box. You should go check her out. She has some really cool stuff. In fact, I think I'm going to take this and stick it in the back pocket. And then in the back pocket we have another tag and another envelope. And there is not a tag in this envelope. And I did color up the back again. Okay, stick that baby back there. All right, and that is, let's see, took those 3 pieces out. I guess it didn't make a huge difference. There is still some, you can, scrunch the journal down here, so you still have some room in there if you want to add mementos or pictures and such. I think the flowers that I have in there add a little bit of dimension, so it's not quite as non-bulky as I would like it to be. But anywho, thank you very much, you guys, for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you later.